partners for you?
Oh, look, I think it's a very tough wicket to start on. I think I even had a couple of balls hit my glove early on in the innings, and I was just lucky enough that those balls went straight to ground. So, sometimes the luck went my way today, and it is a very tough wicket to start on out there, especially against spin and against quality spin bowlers that the Indian team has. So it did get a little bit easier the more time you spent out there, but the ball does misbehave out of the rough there. It's quite abrasive, and there are some balls that are jumping. So, obviously the ball that Phil Hughes got and the ball that Shane Watson got, I thought both popped up and they couldn't really do too much about them. And I think if you get out to balls like that, then you can't really do anything about it. I don't think so. I think well, first of all, the first question, I think it's terrific that, as cricketers we get to go around to different nations and experience different conditions. Otherwise, it get a bit monotonous, and you just, I think it's so different to what we get in Australia. It's almost getting out there. It's very enjoyable, even if you do get hit in the glove and you survive, and it's just good fun. And even though it is different, it's very frustrating when you get out. Very frustrating, but you have to enjoy it because it is different. And I think I think it's terrific that cricket being such a world game that it has so many different types of conditions.
And the spin support cast.
No, I think they're fantastic. Jadeja rarely bowls a bad ball, and he does get the odd one to really spin past the bat. And you just got to play. You got to play the percentages. And for me against Jadeja today, I was just trying to keep out the straight one. And if one spun past the bat, I couldn't really do anything about it. I knew he was trying to get me out LBW and bowled, so that was my strategy against him. And I think both of them are terrific bowlers, especially Harbhajan. Obviously, I think he's a genius. He's taken over 400 Test wickets. So needless to say anymore. Yeah, I was in disbelief that Michael Clarke got out for under 100. So, I was up the other end. It was always going to take a ball like that to get someone who put such a high price on his wicket. And, I knew that those things were going to happen. And Michael said to us before we went out to bat that you just got to play to the conditions. And if you get a ball like that, then so be it. And you can't really do too much. And there's nothing that Michael could have done about that ball. I can guarantee you, having 4 quicks in our team, there's no way you can come in and get wickets by rolling your arm over on that wicket. You have to keep running in as hard as you can and keep trying to bash the wicket as much as you can. And sometimes you think the harder and faster I bowl, the further that Dhoni's going to hit it. So you just got to, you got to keep being positive, and you got to keep coming in and bashing the wicket as hard as you can. And just remembering that you are representing your country, and everything you do, you got to do with pride. I thought, as disappointing as it was to be on the receiving end of it, it was one of the most amazing things I've seen. The way he batted with the tail, and almost whenever he wanted to clear the ropes, he did. And it was, it was just a terrific knock. So I don't know what else to say. I've never really. Obviously, this is my first international game, or first international game of Test cricket. I've never really seen anything like that before.
Did you learn personally anything from that knock this weekend?
Well, from observing, from seeing the way when he first came into bat, there was a couple of uppish balls, and there's a couple of chances for us. There was one little one at bat pad, and a couple of balls that just cleared mid wicket and things like that. And I knew that we all knew that it's tough to start, but he just made batting look so easy once he got set. And it was, obviously, he starts wearing down the bowlers as well. So we had to remember how hard it looked when he got started, even though he did come aggressively at us. He did give us a couple of chances, but how easy he made it look once he got set. So we had to just remember that. I don't know. I don't know what. I guess whatever we get tomorrow will have to be enough. If we can get, if Nathan can keep batting like he did tonight, I thought he did a fantastic job, and hopefully I can squeeze a few more out tomorrow. And 100, 150, 200. We won't be stopping at, we won't be setting targets. We'll just be batting as well as we can.
You can come back strongly against them.
Well, firstly, so we haven't lost this test yet. There's certainly, there's certainly a lot of hope. And, from my point of view, I still think you just don't know what can happen. Obviously, the odds are stacked against us at the moment. But, we go into tomorrow being the underdog and, whether it's rain, whether it's whatever it is, you just never know.
Just here in the front.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic experience. Obviously, I think in whether I'd contributed or not, just to be able to play Test cricket at an international level is just amazing. And as I said, I think here after day 1 or 2, it was just to be on the same field as guys like Sachin and Sehwag, Dhoni and Harbhajan and Michael Clarke. You have to keep pinching yourself, but to obviously have contributed and hopefully, to go out there tomorrow and keep contributing and, post something that can be defendable and, hopefully give Nathan Lyon a chance to bowl on a day 5 wicket here.
Just down the back, last question.
Oh, I'm not sure. I have no idea. I didn't spend any time. I've spent most of the time out in the field, 160 overs or so. So I don't know what they were talking about in the dressing room. And, once we came into bat, we didn't speak about what happened with the ball. Our batting heads are on. So I think that'll get assessed at the end of this test match. And, that's not up to me.